From the On Target Digital Marketing Podcasting Studios in sunny Orlando, Florida, it's the T Squared Tech Talk Podcast with Tom Jelnick and Tom Craig. It's a freaking Friday afternoon, Tom, and you know what that means.
It means great things.
It
Easter's
does, Tom.
around the corner.
It is right around the corner.
That's right.
Spring has sprung, as they say, my friend.
Boing.
Yeah. We could have relied on Mason to inject that sound effect.
Yeah, I should have, I don't have the hand signals for that yet.
But you're a machine, Tom. I mean, you just pulled that boing right out of your keister
that was the father-in-law. I got to give credit there. The father-in-law's big springtime joke every year was to place a call to all the kids and grandkids, and when they pick up the phone, boing.
I like it.
Yep,
yeah.
That was the sound of spring.
Sprang into action.
That's
there, Tom.
right. That's right.
That's
yep.
right.
So, it was that was his thing.
So the T Squared Tech Talk Podcast, Tom, we're all about sharing and caring and taking high tech things and bringing them down to human speak, Tom. So we try to avoid the geek speak.
Yes, well, that certainly does help a lot of people, and we thank our listeners for coming back to us.
There are.
And letting them know exactly how we've helped them. This has been great.
It has.
And how
been
many
great.
people have we helped, Tom? How many people
Tom,
listen?
So far, hot off the presses, 1,995 people have listened to the T Squared Tech Talk Podcast.
That is simply amazing.
I know. Remember, we joke every time we say there's 4 people that listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more now.
Wow.
And I think the folks in Kerslakistan are catching on,
Yeah.
Tom. They're listening. They're tuning in.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
know the ones in China are. I'm happy to see my some of my in-laws on that side are starting to listen to
Tom?
and read the. Well, I don't know how they say Tom in China,
Can you
but
pass the soy sauce,
yeah,
Tom?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steer clear of that one now. I want to keep myself in good graces on that side of the family. So
With the Chinese side?
I've already I've tarnished my reputation enough with several different in-laws in the family. So
We've done a number on them.
We're going to start ratcheting it down. Not much, but just a bit.
For real?
Just a little bit.
What fun is that?
A tad, if you
Tom?
will. Yeah, well, yeah.
Are you stopping on your way home picking up some
We've still
Werthers,
got
by the
plenty
way?
of those to handle on this episode, trust me. Because this is a good one. This has got
It is.
some new technology.
It is.
And new technology, with new technology comes much confusion. That's an ancient Chinese proverb. I don't
From
know
your
if you've ever
in-laws?
heard that.
From your
Yes,
Chinese
yes,
in-laws,
That's
Tom?
right.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep,
right.
yep.
Wisdom, my friend. Wisdom cauliflower.
Beautiful thing. Yep. But you bring us much wisdom today, Tom. You've been busy this week.
I have been busier than a one-armed paper hanger, Tom.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and doing interviews, and you're making the rounds. This is awesome.
I've had my share of busy work this week, Tom. And let me tell you, there is a shiny new product out that I am super excited about, and I think you might be excited too.
Yeah. Well, I am not as excited as some. I don't have a whole lot of viewing time in my life, but no, tell us about it.
Tell them what they've won. Tom.
That's right.
That's right. We're getting our big boy radio voices on today, right?
Yes.
So, which one you want to talk about? The ATSC, Tom? You
Absolutely.
know about the ATSC, right?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. So, folks, do you remember about 20 years ago there was this? Oh my goodness! You have to throw out your existing cable box and swap it out if you want to watch some damn good TV.
Yep.
Remember that was called HDTV, Tom.
I do. And it. How long ago was that?
That was
now?
20. That was 2 decades ago, my friend.
Kind of. That makes me feel just about as old as the kid standing in front of me for beer last night in the line, and the guy said, "Son, can I see your ID?" And he said, showed him the ID, and the guy said, "Oh, 1997, okay." And everybody in the line all groaned. I'm sure you can relate.
Oh, yeah. So Mason here, our audio extraordinaire engineer, just turned 21. So, yeah.
The joys of youth. Enjoy, Mason. And if we could all only be 21 again yet, Tom,
I know,
right?
Tom.
Yep, the
I know.
knees wouldn't be cracking.
I know.
The in-laws wouldn't be squawking.
We wouldn't have to use so much NyQuil.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, good stuff. But no, times have changed. HDTV is no longer the hip new fad.
It's not, Tom.
No.
In fact, I remember this little short story for you, Tom. I was at SeaWorld with the missus. This is before we had kids.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No kids. We go to SeaWorld. I'll tell you, Tom, they used to have free beer there.
I remember.
Do you remember this?
Anheuser-Busch was
Oh,
the
yeah.
owner, and they'd pass out free Bud
There was
Light
free,
Ice House.
and we were lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were crazy young kids 20 years ago, 18 years ago it was. And you know what? You know what she gave me clearance for, Tom, at that very SeaWorld Adventure Park?
Diving into the orca tank.
That and
Okay.
let's go look at big screen TVs.
Oh.
Now, this is something every married
Yeah.
guy wants to hear.
Amen.
Amen. So, a couple more drinks. I make sure that she's how should I say nicely, lit. So I drag her to Sears. Remember the Sears, the store with the TVs?
All too well.
Yeah, not many of those left. So we're at Sears, and Tom, she let me. I got clearance. I bought a $2,500 Sony HD TV. This damn thing was a tank. It had wheels.
Yep.
Remember these?
I do.
Yeah. And that was our thing, man. That was HD ready.
Yeah, I remember my friend Jay was yelling at me because we only had 3 people to carry that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those some bitches were heavy.
Yes, they were.
So I was so proud of this, and in fact, the fact that my wife even just gave me clearance to buy this is what every man needs to hear. So I encourage you: get your husbands, get your drunks, get your drunks' wives, get your wives schnockered, then take them shopping.
Works for me.
Yeah,
I got one of the best computers ever thanks to a bottle of red.
Tom, what kind of computer was that?
Oh, that was a rockin' Dell. Let me tell you, it was so rockin'. I never even used half the ports on that thing. The problem was, Tom, slight clause you got to throw in here to our listeners. When you get the wife schnockered, you should not keep up with the wife as she's on the way to Schnockerville.
That's a great point.
Because you as well will start thinking,
Yeah.
oh, great, I need
Yeah.
a TV tuner on my
Yeah,
computer that
you might
I
get
never
so
watch
drunk
TV
that you
on.
think buying a PC is a good idea. Tom.
See, that's what happened to me 20-something years ago, and I've been drunk ever since.
And had you not been drunk,
on
you
Microsoft
probably would have
Punch.
gone to the Apple Store, Tom. Because if it's a great machine you were looking for, that's where you should have ended up. But
Yeah.
no, you got schnockered, my friend.
Apparently, and that was my downfall. But lessons learned, and so you had the big TV 20 years ago, the HD TV, but now we're moving on.
We're moving on, Tom.
You're gonna have to get her drunk again to get a new TV, aren't you?
You're damn right.
All righty.
We're about due.
What are we looking for this time?
We are looking at the ATSC 3.0, Tom.
Okay.
It's a new protocol.
Yeah.
So, like HDTV was a protocol, it was essentially mandated as a rollover. And now HDTV is sent through the airwaves. It's magical, and
Yep.
it just happens to get to your TV and show you really pretty pictures.
Yep.
This new, I want to call it, it's not necessarily a service, it's a standard, Tom.
Okay.
So all the folks in the cable industry and the transmission industry, they all got together and they said, what would be awesome? And they built it. So coming out next year, early next year, is this new standard. And this new standard is actually built on, and you'll appreciate this, an internet protocol. So it's built on a backbone of the interwebs.
Fantastic.
All right, so stay with me. What's in it for you, the consumer? So a lot of folks, as you know, and we've done a show about this, Tom, are cutting the old cord, getting rid of the cable.
Amen.
So what do? Well, a lot of people go out and get Netflix, and they get the Hulus, and they get the whatever.
The 30 or the 50-mile antenna, which I'd like to add, does not go 30 or 50 miles.
It does not.
No.
So there's HD antennas you can put in your attic that'll bring the signal into your, and you can watch local TV. So what's going to happen is this new standard, this new protocol, will allow for ultra HD, which is badass, Tom. We're talking 4K.
Okay.
We're talking Dolby Digital Surround through the airwaves.
Amazing.
It's going to have its own built-in channel guide where you can go backwards and forwards, just like you can on a cable box. Only this is going right over the air.
Amazing. It is just amazing.
But wait,
Okay. There's more?
There's more.
There's more.
There's more. So not only you're going to have an amazing picture, it's going to sound kick-ass. You're going to hear bullets ricochet all over the freaking place.
Yep.
The other really cool thing is interactivity. So if you're watching your football games,
And then suddenly you get the,
Tom,
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Tom, what do you think that purse is that she's wearing there?
Right. That's right. So you can actually click this on the screen and using your smart TV and the internet connection, pull up more information about that very purse to give Nana or the in-laws.
Wow.
You can buy it right then and there, Tom.
well, that's bittersweet because A, we don't have to answer the question anymore.
That's right.
It's a click of a button and we can find that out.
Right, and shut them up,
But
basically.
B, Now you know whose account that's going on.
Oh, sure.
That's going on your Amazon account, buddy.
You got that
Yep,
right.
and it's just so happens that there's a Prada purse she was wearing. So
Naturally.
yeah.
Naturally.
You could have bought a Mac for that price.
Well, Tom, that's an investment. Let's be honest.
The Prada or the Mac?
No, the Mac.
Oh,
It's
okay,
It's an
okay.
investment
All right.
in amazingness.
Well, the Prada's an investment too. It's called an investment in your relationship with your in-laws.
Tom?
Yep. But not just that. It's not just the purse.
Right.
Let's say you're watching football.
Yeah.
Your favorite team's on, but
The New England Patriots, Tom.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
We won't admit Redskins. We steer clear of that. So yeah, we're Patriots fans. They
Yes,
won
we
last
are.
year. They
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl. So you want to see the stats on Gronk. Oh wait,
Right.
he's retired.
Right.
All right.
How
So you
about
want to see
Brady?
this, there you go. We'll
Yeah.
go with that one. You want to see the stats and find out where he might not be the best. Well, you can pull all that up.
Or find out where he is the best, Tom.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. We didn't talk about this?
No. We didn't have this in our pre-podcast meeting.
We did not.
This was
we did
not
not
discussed.
cover that ground.
That
First down, Tom. So listen.
all right, that's a whole nother podcast. We'll come back to that, folks. We're not going to let that one slide.
But you're right. You can pull up information about actors, just like you can on Netflix, for example. If you're watching a show and you want to learn more about the cast, you can
Yeah.
you can click and it'll show you. So this will actually work in conjunction with your internet connection on a smart TV, and pull in all that data and show it as an overlay directly on top of your signal. So this is really, really remarkable, and is going to honestly revolutionize a bit of the interactivity on television.
Huh, that is something.
But
No,
wait,
no, you can't say there's more.
there's more.
Oh, wow, I feel like we're on an infomercial here.
Right. So it slices, it dices.
Yeah, I know.
So, for being a digital marketing geek, one of the most appealing things to me about this new technology, and the opposite end of this is going to be creepy as hell, but hear me out. So, this is a two-way pipe, which
Okay.
is really fascinating.
Uh-huh.
So, they can actually, in theory, know what I'm watching, what I'm interacting with, and send that signal back to the transmitter.
Yeah.
And then they can actually strategically start showing ads over the air to me that's relevant to me based on my likes and dislikes.
Wow.
This is fascinating as a marketer.
I was going to say, it's fascinating to you. It's absolutely terrifying to the rest of us. In fact, I was getting a haircut this last week, and it's a rare occasion for myself. And I was
You're looking good, man. You look sharp.
I was in the salon.
The
you know.
salon.
Yep,
Did you get your nails did while
I
you
no
were there,
longer
Tom?
go to Supercuts. I've graduated to the salon.
I'm great.
And,
I'm sports clips, actually.
Yeah, there we go. But I was in there talking, and I was talking about you on the news this week, discussing this new technology, and they said,
No, well, there's no way. We'll never have a smart TV in our house.
and I said, well, may I ask why? And they said,
Well, we don't want that interactivity. I certainly don't want to be sharing with our provider what our interests are and our likes. I don't want to be targeted like that.
and I said, oh, okay, well, let's talk about what your viewing habits are. And I was told that they use DirecTV as a primary source, but that they also have a computer plugged into their television. And therefore, by not having a smart TV, they're skipping all of this interactivity to give the providers the insight as to what their interests are. And I chuckled quite loudly
Right.
and said, I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to go back and tell your husband that his grand scheme of getting around a smart TV by having a computer plugged in and using DirecTV is failing big on two fronts. A, DirecTV is definitely tracking what your interests are, and they are providing that information to third-party providers who will sell that to anybody. And then-
Anybody will buy that. Yeah.
Amen. And then your computer is using your internet service provider, and this is just golden. This goes to browsers and everything else. You might be using DuckDuckGo or your incognito window on your Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, or I don't even know what Macs run, but I'm sure there's
They run
something in there.
superiority products,
Okay.
Tom. Yeah.
Well, whatever that
Yeah.
is, when you go across Spectrum or CenturyLink or Summit Broadband or, name any of them, guess what? They are tracking what your interests
You're damn
are.
straight they are.
They are providing that information to third-party vendors and then selling to anybody.
Right.
So, yeah, by not having a smart TV, you are not getting around this interactivity, if you will.
So that's a really great point. And, people are going to lose their mind about privacy concerns on this. And I want you to hear this one more time. Tom said it very well and very eloquently. Anything you plug into the internet, folks, especially if it's free, whether it's a browser, whether it's a smart TV, guess what? Somebody's listening and knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
100%, hands down. I don't care if you go to your smart TV and opt out. Some of these TVs are being shipped with the audio microphones automatically coming on every single time I should say the microphone. So
Yeah.
it was recording anything you said in the family room.
I know.
So, this shouldn't freak people out in terms of privacy and
But
blah,
it
blah,
does, and it just floors me. Ladies and gentlemen, please, you've got to understand that I'm not this paranoid guy from the Cold War who turns up the stereo to 10 before I have a conversation with my wife. However, if I'm going to discuss a controversial subject, whatever that subject might be, I was asked this last week, well, what do you do then? And honestly, you move the phones into the other room because...
And the Alexa.
Yeah.
I know you kicked her butt to the curb.
That's out of the house.
Yeah.
But
She's dead to you.
But no, these devices, they are listening, they are tracking, and they are... I mean, Big Brother is watching. George Orwell
yeah.
nailed it.
Orville. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
That was
watched
the
that last
popcorn
night
guy.
with my daughter.
Yeah. But no, George Orwell nailed it in 1984 when he talked about Big Brother watching, because we have certainly come to that. It's not... In fact, it's more intricate than Orwell predicted, I'd say. I don't think there's any way he could have had a clue on how deep we were going to be entrenched with this interactivity and,
I totally
and providers,
agree. I totally agree.
Cashing in on it.
So, speaking of cashing in, how are the in-laws?
Yeah, well, they are, they're there. They keep me busy, but hopefully with this new interactivity coming on the television, I won't have to hit Google for anything. I can just hit the button and answer all their questions right away.
And God knows they're always listening too. Am I right?
That is your biggest
until you need
source.
something.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't sell that information.
No,
They
well,
give it
Are
away.
you sure? Okay. There you
Yeah.
go. All right.
That's free reign right there. When they learn something about us.
So I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's also a whole occupation out there called a data broker.
Okay.
So they will harvest info from your cable company, from your DirecTV, from whoever's willing to sell it. They'll take it and flip it on the market. So, I mean, if you think that data isn't that valuable in what you're doing on Chrome or even on your solitaire game, it's incredibly important and incredibly valuable to marketers and now data brokers.
Wow. Yeah, it is amazing. But this technology is going to be cutting edge, if you will. And you and I have really had a fun conversation before when we were talking about what this is going to take to roll out. You talk about the 5G and the capabilities of what it's going to have. And I'm bleeding over into 5G from this new technology,
Sure.
but this new technology is going to I guess the providers aren't going to be relying on the 5G so much, are they, for this new ATSC?
No, I don't believe so. No,
Yeah.
In fact, this signal is going to actually use existing towers, and what they're going to do is pair two stations together and let them borrow a tower to transmit.
Ah.
Yeah, so this is really slick. They don't have to redo all of the infrastructure around the whole freaking planet, or even in Kurzblackistan.
Yeah.
So no, they won't have to build new towers to make this happen.
Wow. Well, I certainly hope that with our new antennas, they'll be a little bit more powerful, so we won't have that 50 to 30 mile range or whatever that our limit is now.
Yeah, in fact, one other thing about this particular protocol, Tom, this is what's really cool to me. Your smartphone right now currently relies on data from your carrier, and this is a good segue into the 5G conversation. But so if you want to watch, Mason wants to watch his shows on his iPhone.
Yep.
It's sucking data down from his provider, right? So that's what makes them happy,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause they're kind of pigs that way.
Amen to that. My
They
bill
want you
just
to use,
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
absolutely. They want you to use more and more and more data because that's where their money comes from.
Yep.
So this new protocol for TV actually can transmit this signal to your phone, and your phone can act as a TV tuner and pick up this signal, and you will not have to use your data to
Wow.
watch television on YouTube TV or what have you.
Huh.
So this is what's fascinating to me. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not the large companies like Verizon and AT&T or whatever are going to allow the phones to receive this signal. So believe it or not, you can't even pick up FM on your phone, but your phone can pick up FM if it wants to. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does to me.
Yeah. So really, really fascinating what this could do, even to mobile applications, smartphones, tablets, etc. Provided that these big companies will play ball and let that signal go to your phone.
The big companies playing ball. See, that's the discussion we had beforehand.
Talking about balls, Tom.
Yeah, they don't play well with that. Let me tell you. And where this comes from is we were talking about 5G.
Right.
In fact, you saw that on your phone, if I'm not mistaken, sometime earlier this week. You looked down and were a bit surprised on the old iPhoner there, the iPhone 7632.
This is an iPhone 10, Tom.
Oh, is that what number?
Yeah.
Now? Okay.
It's a beautiful piece of work, isn't it?
Well, your daughter's on there. That does give it.
She is cute.
There is added bonus there, but
Yeah, this is
the
before
side,
she was
the other
15.
side, no. That flip it around the other way. No, that side right there, ugly. Yeah.
It's not ugly. This is a
what's
piece
that?
of work.
Who took a bite out of the apple?
Oh yeah, somebody did
See?
take a bite out of this apple.
Yeah, it's just wrong.
So I'm rolling around town, Tom, and I glanced down at the old iPhone, noticed that I saw the letters 5, or the number 5 and G up top in the right-hand corner, and it struck me kind of funny. I was like, I usually see 4G or LTE or whatever the hell it is that day, and it struck me funny. In fact, I said something to my wife about it, and then 2 days later, Fox called me and asked me to get on TV and talk about 5G that's rolling into Orlando. So naturally, Tom, I open the Googles, I start Googling 5G, I educate myself about it, went on Fox and talked about it. So now, as of today, AT&T has rolled 5G into the Orlando market, including, I want to say 6 or 7 other markets across the United States.
Huh. Wow.
So-
Well, I tell you, those speeds are going to be incredible, and that will be a game changer, especially for the in-laws, because Matlock will have no more buffering.
I can hear him.
Murder, She Wrote,
Yeah.
no more.
It's so glitchy.
Yep. Jessica Lange will be just as crystal clear as could be.
Yeah. How about the Lone Ranger? Remember
see?
they sit there
I
and watch
do.
that in that black and white?
Yeah.
He's so handsome, Tom, isn't he?
Yeah, see, it's the westerns as well, but we're going to start losing our audience if we go down these reminiscing these.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island, maybe.
Yeah,
It's-
Bonanza. Not too many
Bonanza.
people. They all think about the restaurant when they see that.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. That and we had this conversation earlier about 5G, the advantageous aspects of it, such as cities and counties,
Yeah.
utilities. A lot of utilities now, they are transferring. You remember the meter reader that used to come by the house?
Yeah, that poor guy.
You used to have to let him in the house. They'd
Yeah.
come in. This is up north. We'd let him into the basement. He'd go down there and read our meters and determine our usage, and that was what our bill would be based on. So now, what they're doing is they've created these Wi-Fi enabled meters to where the first iteration involved somebody driving up and down every other street and collecting, making sure that they're within range of all these meters. Funny side note, Tom, this comes from one of my journeys throughout the Midwest there. There was a county that had implemented these smart readers, if you will, into the utilities. And so, of course, the meter reader guy, right? It's no longer a month-long job of
Max,
going up
the
and
meter
down.
reader.
That's right,
Yeah.
Max is now a bit of a different job where he's driving around in a truck and never has to get out. So they wondered why it takes Max 3 days to drive through the county to collect all of these. And they thought, well, we were told this would be much more efficient. So the supervisor accompanied Max as he went around on his meter reading skills, and lo and behold, Tom, the supervisor discovered that all of this could be done in half a day.
So Max was maxing out the old paycheck,
It
wasn't he?
certainly
Tom?
was.
Yeah.
Max must have been going awfully slow up and down the street, but so they determined that the cost savings were there and the technology was there, but now that's no longer going to require a Max to drive up and down these streets because this 5G technology has a much greater penetration rate.
Penetration.
That's right. And if you want to make people happy, Tom,
You wanna
gotta up the-
penetrate 'em.
That's right. You got to up the penetration rate.
You do. And as much as you can penetrate the market with your penetration, you're in good shape.
That's right. So what's happening is that Maxes of the world are going to be reassigned to other duties.
You might get a desk job, Tom.
Yeah, he just
And
might.
you said duties, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I did that just for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. But they're going to make sure that all these technologies that have been built, such as the smart readers, that they have the infrastructure available in their city or county to get full benefits for their investments in these technologies. So with that, it's very interesting that the 5G technology is reliant on fiber optic infrastructure. As you and I discovered before the meeting, we were talking with our friend Richard over at
Richie Rich.
Yep, that's right. At Capital Cable, Richie, in his job is to build out this infrastructure to allow for the micro cells to go up on various poles throughout the area.
You want to penetrate with your poles, Tom.
Amen. And that's the big difference. Is
Big poles?
these big ugly cell towers that
Yeah.
you see around.
Yep.
Those are going to be going by the wayside, I think, as we move forward, because a lot of the fiber optic infrastructure is being built in larger cities and counties to handle things like smart light poles, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So if the light goes out, they know about it right away. They know to go out and replace that one. But all this is tied together with fiber. Well, now they can tap into that fiber, put these small micro cells at the top of every 10th or 15th pole as you go along. And with that, you're going to have much higher frequency, which will give you that better penetration rate.
So you're going to have a deeper penetration with more poles.
See, that's exactly right.
Right.
And the benefits are going to be just astronomical as you go around and look at what this will bring.
As you look at the poles.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yep,
So Tom's looking at poles penetrating, and we're talking about 5G technology. So Tom, to the average user, here's the interesting thing. Even
Yep.
though it's showing up on your amazing Apple iPhone as 5G, guess what? You're not getting the benefits of 5G yet. Do you know why, Tom?
That's right. Because
Tell him what he's
hardware.
Tom.
Hardware is just it's got to upgrade, just like the antenna for the HD TV.
Correct.
Remember that? You had
Right.
to go out and get that adapter box.
Yep, the old box.
Yep. Well, now you're going to have to get new hardware as well.
Right.
And
And Apple does tend to, because they're brilliant and genius with all that they do, they're usually the last ones to the market with they're putting their phone on this platform. So I would expect in 2020 that you'll start seeing the new models of the iPhones to be able to, yes, they receive 5G, but the processing speed along with it should be built in. So, we're going to see an increase in network and data speed of up to 20 times what you're seeing with 4G. Now, to wrap your head around that, that's a difference of downloading a video in seconds as opposed to 3 minutes that it's taking right now on your regular data plan. So, being built on the fiber infrastructure gives it so much more bandwidth. I'm totally geeking out that this is coming soon. In fact, it's here. I just don't have the damn device to do anything with it yet.
Yep. So it really is going to be amazing. I know it's not just the private industry, but the cities and counties are all very excited about it as well, and hoping that the providers are going to step up to the plate and start pushing this infrastructure throughout the country and not relying on local municipalities to foot the bill for it, and then where the providers come in afterwards and ride on that and collect the money.
Yeah, somebody's getting penetrated.
Kind of like that Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of people got penetrated on that
Yeah,
one.
they did.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they got fiber in some places they shouldn't have gotten it, Tom.
yeah, amen. Now they can't get rid of it, but yeah. So hopefully this will be a much smoother rollout.
You know what time it is, Tom?
Is it that time?
It is almost that time. We've
Oh.
talked a lot about penetrating. It's time to now stick our hand deep into the mail sack.
All right.
You know who wrote in today?
Who's that?
Sal from Sydney.
Sal from Sydney.
Yep, sit down under, Tom.
All right. Well, what's Sal got to say?
Sal wanted to know when he can expect the new ATSC 3.0 in his living room.
Well, I know that if there's anybody who has that answer, it's going to be you.
Sal, how are things in Australia, my friend?
I'd love to hear from Sal.
I would too. I was going
yeah.
to try to imitate the accent.
Yeah, I think we should steer clear of that. I was thinking about that earlier when talking about some of my in-laws overseas. And
Yeah.
I think we get enough hate mail as it is right now from the in-laws.
Well,
we don't need any more.
What do you say we throw another shrimp on the Barbie there, Tom?
That was great.
Thank
wow,
you.
I
Yeah.
thought for sure that was Sal.
Oh, it was. Sal,
Oh.
Sal is speaking to us
Wow.
through the magic of ATSC 3.0.
Okay.
Tom.
Well, when can Sal expect this?
So this signal is supposed to be actually nationwide in 2020. So that means you're going to start to see TVs, Sal, probably right around Christmas time. So that's when you want to get Mrs. Sal all schnockered up and bring her down to the old local big box store to buy your shiny new television that you can proudly install and receive your signal. I don't know if it's going to be in Australia, so I can't tell you that. The signal might be upside down over there, Tom.
That's a great way to look at it. I have to think about that when I get back to you.
Do you think you get like the Coriolis effect
Right.
over there with the television?
I'm wondering
signal,
how
Tom?
they just don't fall off down there.
Yeah,
If they're
I know, it's
upside
a
down,
mystery, right?
I can't understand it, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
That's the Flat Earth podcast.
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mason's leading that one up.
Good stuff. But I've got nothing for you, Sal.
Sal,
you know?
we hope he answered your question. It wasn't a very intricate, in-depth question, but certainly we can expect this signal in the United States.
Well, you
I
know, my question on top of it is
Yeah, what
that
do
I
you got?
was kind of struggling with there for a moment. is-
penetrating something, Tom?
well, it is. It's trying to penetrate my mind here so late on a Friday. But what do you think the Black Friday sales are going to look like, Tom? Are they going to have these TVs, these technologies to this time of year?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see here, Tom, is a whole bunch of Samsung phones. I think we're going to see a lot of Apple iPhones.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of brand new shiny televisions, all with ATSC 3.0 signals, Tom.
I think we're going to see a lot of things flying into Walmart on Thanksgiving Eve or
Yeah.
Thanksgiving night when they open up the doors for that Black Friday sale. And there's 5 of those devices available and
Yep.
250 people vying for those devices.
Yeah, beating each other up like,
Yeah.
What's that show with that guy with the bouncers on stage?
You got me.
Mason?
Yep.
What am I
see?
talking about here?
Yep. The bouncers on
Is
stage.
it the Maury Povich show? Is that
Oh,
what it is?
yeah, that-
Oh, it's Dr. Phil.
I thought
Those
it was.
people just beat the crap out
Yeah?
of each other.
I thought you were going to say the State of the Union address, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that is a whole other podcast for
Okay.
another day.
All right.
That's
we'll
just
steer clear of
that's
that.
just ugly.
All right. But no, I think you're right that it's going to be crazy the amount of people who are going to want to hop on the bandwagon for this new technology, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm very curious to see what the sales will hold and what the prices, because we were just talking about this recently. These phones are like $1,000
Yeah,
each.
seriously.
Now. What are they going to do? $2,000? And
They got to be careful with that too, Tom. I mean, you can only edge these things up so much, and the next question is going to be, how much is this 5G going to cost me on my new AT&T bill?
Yeah.
That I don't know the answer to, my friend. And Sal, we'll keep you posted on that. But
they're going to have to foot the bill for a lot of fiber build out as they roll this all out.
yeah,
so.
in down under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good luck on that.
And Sal, you watch out for those wallabies and kangaroos. They can be real schmucks, from what I understand.
And boomerangs.
And but yeah, you gotta watch out. And crocs.
Yeah, I saw Crocodile Dundee. I know what goes on over there.
There's some shit. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got to carry a big knife.
Yeah. Or a bigger knife.
That's a knife.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
See,
Try
I,
it, Tom.
I was going to try it
No?
again. We'll just lay off that.
Well, Sal, thank you so much for writing in. Sal from Sydney, we certainly appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone that tries and listens to the T-Squared Tech Talk podcast. All 1,996 of you by now, I hope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
And Tom, it's been a great show today. We've broken down all kinds of tomfoolery, if you will.
That's right. 4K,
Yeah.
Dolby,
Yeah.
interactivity. I mean, what more can you get with this all new
You
ATSC?
can get the in-laws schnockered up on NyQuil.
Amen.
Maybe you take them to the big box store to buy you a new TV.
No,
Tom,
I've
let's
learned
go.
my
Let's
lesson.
load up the wheelchairs and,
No.
the carts and the X-Lax. Let's take them for a ride, Tom.
You've seen the hover round.
Yeah.
The hover round does not fare well in a mob scene.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
you,
true.
You gotta scramble. You gotta juke left, juke right.
Yeah, you gotta
hover
watch
round.
out.
Hover round's good. It ain't that good.
There's penetration. You got to
That's
watch
right.
out for
Yep.
everything. So, folks, until next time, we thank you so much for listening to the T-Squared Tech Talk podcast. We hope you have a great frickin' weekend, right, Tom?
Absolutely.
And where can folks find out more about you and Advanced System Solutions?
They can look for us on the internet at advancedsystemsolutions.com.
And you can find me at ontargetdigitalmarketing.com. And thank you again to all of our loyal listeners. We're so grateful to have you. Until next time, take care.
This podcast was recorded at the On Target Podcasting Studio.